So I'm about to go on my honeymoon, my second honeymoon, if you have been keeping track. And I wanted to just share with you the books that I will be taking with me because I have a very ambitious honeymoon TBR. I do have a reason for it. So we are going up to the Lake District from Sunday to Sunday, so 8 days technically. And normally on our holidays, we do a lot of hiking, mountain climbing, all of that stuff. We're really quite active. But this time around, my husband has a broken leg and we are currently, as I'm recording this, waiting to see if he can walk on it at all. By this point, he broke it back at like Easter. He's got his cast off and everything, but he can't yet weight bear. So we're waiting to see if he can do that. But regardless of whether he can weight bear or not, we can't be climbing mountains because he's still going to be recovering. He needs to build that muscle back up. So I am anticipating a lot of reading time on this holiday. I'm envisioning lying next to the lake, doing loads of reading there, laying in some fields maybe, doing reading there, sitting in a forest. Lots and lots of downtime. Whether that actually happens, we will see, but I don't think we'll be doing anything crazy in the evenings either. We're not really party people anymore, and regardless, we're going to have our dog with us, so we're not going to be going out clubbing or anything like that. I don't even know if you can do that in the Lake District, but my point is we will have some evenings free. And so I have this massive pile of books that I'm taking with me. So we are driving up there, so I've got so much space in my car that I think this will be fine. I could even add more books if I want to. So let me go through the books that I've chosen, and I can talk you through my thought process and why I want to take them. So the first one I've chosen is The Incandescent by Emily Tesh. My friend Angela really enjoyed this one. This is about a head teacher of a magical school. I think it's a school for witches. I'm not entirely sure what the plot is, but this sounds like something that would be perfect for a holiday read. I don't really know why I get the vibe, but just sitting in the mountains reading this book sounds really appealing to me, so I've put this on the list. I have been so tempted to pick this up before my holiday, but I'm holding off because I think this will be the perfect one to take with me. Similarly, I've also picked out A Marvellous Light. So this one is historical fantasy about a magician's guild or something. It says here that the main character is put under some sort of curse, there's a magical society, there's a conspiracy happening. So really, I think this one, again, has very similar vibes to this. So if I enjoy this and want something that's similar to it, then I can pick this one up. So that's why this one's on here as an option. I have also picked out a ton of romance books. I say a ton, I've picked out I think 3. So the first one I've decided to take with me is Magnolia Parks. So this is kind of like Gossip Girl, Made in Chelsea, drama, romance. I've actually already started this one. I started it as an ebook quite a while ago, and it's about a really posh, rich main character whose name is Magnolia. That would make sense. And she has like an on and off again romance situation happening with a guy called BJ, and I don't support that name, but that's exactly what a posh person would call themselves. So it makes sense. It says here that they were written in the stars, just suspended in a strange kind of love that looks like hurting each other a lot of the time. She dates other people to keep him at bay, and he sleeps with other girls to get back at her for it. Only now their dysfunction is catching up with them. So this could be quite anger inducing. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it, but back in the day I did really like Gossip Girl and that kind of teen drama, 90210 as well, the remake. So I think this one would be a good holiday read, and I should speed through it. It's not going to take long for me to read at all. Another romance book that I've picked out is Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and this is an author that I've read from a couple of times before. I read The Ex Talk by her most recently, and that was her debut adult book, I think. So that one followed 2 radio hosts who were fake ex-dating, and this one follows, I guess, meteorologists? Yeah, so Ari, the main character, is a TV meteorologist, like a weather girl or weather woman. Her ex is the station's news director. I don't know if she's getting together with her ex. I think she actually connects with a sports reporter. So I've chosen this one just because it'll be fun, relaxed, holiday vibes. I love a rom-com on holiday, so that's why I picked this one out. Another, what I think is a romance book I've chosen is The Simple Wild. So this one has been on my wish list for ages, and I finally found it for quite cheap up on World of Books. I think I got it for like £3. So this one is set in Alaska, so a slightly different setting to the Lake District, but I think because the main character is moving from, I think, Toronto to Alaska, it's kind of still got that relocation travel element to it, and I think that's why it's really fitting for my holiday. I think the romance in this one is between the main character who's moving and a pilot. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I really hope I love it because, as I said, it's been on my wish list for ages, so I've been hyping it up in my head for the longest time. Kind of changing the vibe a little bit, I've also picked out In Memoriam, and this one is going to make me cry. It's historical, set in World War I, I think, and the main characters, Henry and Sydney, go to an all-boys private school together, and they're best friends but really in love, but obviously it's the early 1900s, so they're not allowed to tell anyone that, and they enlist in the British Army and they get separated, and I don't really know what else happens in this. I don't want to know until I'm actually reading it. The reason I picked this one out for my holiday is just because I just wanted something a bit sad. Sometimes I'm just feeling something emotional, and this one is guaranteed to make me cry. Of course, there are like fantasy books and things that often make me cry, but I have to be really invested in the series, and I can't think of any series right now that I am in the middle of that I'm so invested in the characters that I know that that sequel is going to make me sob. So yeah, I've picked out In Memoriam. This may be a questionable decision, and I may not end up picking it up, to be honest. It's just right now I'm in the mood to read it. I've also picked out what I think are a couple of thriller books. I'm not entirely sure. So this first one is People Like Her by Ellery Lloyd. This one, I believe, is about an influencer. Yeah. So the main character is called Emmy, and she's got an Instagram account, and it's kind of a mommy blogger kind of situation. It says here that Emmy isn't as honest as she'd like the fans to believe. She may think she has her followers fooled, but someone out there knows the truth and plans to make her pay. So I'm very interested in this one. I want to know what Emmy is lying about exactly, and just what's going on and how they're going to make her pay and why they want to make her pay for lying online. I don't know, it just sounds very interesting to me. It should be a really quick read, so I've picked up this one. I've also got Penance by Eliza Clark, and this one I think may be more of a mystery than a thriller, but I'm not entirely sure. So it says here, it has been nearly a decade since the horrifying murder of 16-year-old Joan Wilson rocked the small seaside town of Crow-on-Sea. Now a journalist has constructed what he claims to be the definitive account of the crime, and it's a riveting snapshot of lives scarred by tragedy and a town left in turmoil. So I think it's going to be about how this murder is affecting the small town and the community, which is something that I do really enjoy reading about, in a way, because I like seeing how these big events affect people. I just find it really interesting in like a psychological way. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it without sounding absolutely weird. So this is quite a long one, and to be honest, this is probably one of the ones that I'm least excited about, just because of the length. I don't think this is going to be one that I fly through or anything, but the subject matter does sound very intriguing, so I've popped this one on the list. And then finally, the last book that I've got here, the physical copy, is Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. This is a space horror book and it's completely different to all of the other vibes I've got going on here. This is her second space horror book. I loved her first one, Dead Silence, so I'm hoping I'm going to love this one as well. I don't even know what this is about. I don't want to know. I'm just really excited to read it. And so that's my pile, my TBR for my honeymoon holiday. I think what I'm really missing here is some proper fantasy. I've obviously got the witchy and magician fantasy over at the bottom there, but I've not got anything like epic, and I don't know if I really want to take anything epic to the Lake District with me. I've got my fantasy shelves here, and I'm thinking I could maybe take Diabound, because that was on my July TBR. That's a fantasy romance though, and it's not, certainly not epic fantasy. I don't know what else I would pick, so I'm just gonna leave it at this for now. I'm also taking my Kobo with me, of course. This thing comes with me everywhere, and on here I've got literally 150 books right now. Most of these are advanced readers copies. I've moved them from my Kindle to my Kobo. Did I just out myself for hoarding advanced readers copies? I don't think so. And some of these are ones that I've also bought on Kindle that I've moved to my Kobo as well. Again, I don't think I've got many epic fantasy books here, but I do have some sci-fi that I'm interested in. I've got the Lady Astronaut series, books 2, 3 and 4 on here, so I could be interested in reading that maybe. Again, that's not epic fantasy. I've got some YA fantasy on here. I've got some Ashley Herring Blake books on here that I would like to read. I've got Firebird that I still haven't read, Joe Abercrombie. I've got loads of stuff. Most of this actually looks like historical or thrillers. That's typically what I end up buying when it's on sale. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be reading, to be honest. Hopefully some books from this stack. But again, if I'm in the mood for some epic fantasy or something, I can just add a couple of things to my suitcase or buy them on my Kobo while I'm up there. So that's my plan for my holiday. I'm really excited for all of these books. I think apart from maybe Penance, again, that's the one that I'm kind of iffy about putting on here. But I do have tons of space in my car, so it's perfectly doable. I can take it with me and see how I'm feeling at the time. Let me know what you think of my holiday TBR. What would you have done if you were putting a holiday honeymoon TBR together? Would you have done it differently? Would you have put just romance books on here, or just one certain genre? Would you maybe not be taking as many books with you? That's entirely fair. I just wanted to give myself some variety and some options, because I know that I'm going to have a lot of reading time. So yeah, I just wanted to cover most of my bases, I think. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye.